I'm Ankita, an editor at the Fifth Estate. I have with me Aaromal Kesav, who's contesting for the post of Cultural Affairs Secretary, Arts. So my first question for you is, Litsoc has clearly been receiving dwindling participation over the last few years. Can you explain why this is the case? Why is it that the existing system for Litsoc worked well a few years ago, but not now?
So, if you ask seniors about Litsoc, Litsoc is one of the most vital part of their acad life in this college. But then after pandemic, we witnessed a serious fall in the enthusiasm for Litsoc. And one major reason for that, which I believe is because in second year they are transferred to Kaveri, and only 2 years they get in their actual hostel. So that's also one reason why that interest for Litsoc has been falling. And that's not something that can be changed immediately. It takes a lot of time and also planning from the hostel affairs side. Another reason is because Litsoc is happening all throughout the year. It's spread out throughout the year. So one way by which we can actually incentivize Litsoc is by having a more condensed format and by bringing new avenues of competition also. That's why I am planning to bring a depth soc, which will be department-based competition, also a Litsoc sprint, which will be Litsoc happening in 2 weekends, twice in both the semesters. So these are ways by which we can incentivize Litsoc, and more than giving temporary benefits, the idea of Litsoc should be, and the idea of participating for your hostel should be promoted.
So my second question for you is, Milans have been consistently underperforming over the last few years. It's clear that the current method is ineffective, yet the events continue without any modifications. How do you intend to revamp the structure and approach of Milans to set the team up for success rather than repeating past shortcomings?
Yeah, so Milans have been performing really well before COVID, and we can't take before COVID Sarang as a benchmark. So first thing that Milan needs more is publicity. That is one thing, and another reason is that we need to focus more on Chennai. Like I said, if we start last year as the first Sarang after pre-COVID, if we take that as a benchmark, I feel we should focus more on Chennai publicity. And this year also we did some PR events in Chennai, some major hotspots in the city, and that reflected very well in our footfall also. So I believe for the next few years at least, we should focus more on our publicity in Chennai, and we should bring more PR events for Chennai. That's why I brought an initiative, Vanakam Madras, which will be basically PR events focusing on Chennai, the malls, beaches, all the major colleges and everything. So it is more about the planning and where we want to concentrate.
My third question for you is, the Career Development Cell and other bodies are already involved in presenting sessions for internship and placement prep, and sessions on GDs are already presented by the Oratory Club. What value, including transferable skills, does your point Sangam Upskill add, and why do you think new sessions should be introduced in addition to the existing ones?
So we did a GD prep session which was conducted by Oratory last semester, and it received huge participation. And a lot of people wanted such sessions to be conducted again. So by my initiative, it won't be just GD, but also public speaking, creative writing, content writing, and even soft skills like Figma, Photoshop, etc. that are like very much needed and which will help you a lot in your resume. And what we'll be doing is we'll be formalizing the structure, and it will be held before the intern season and placement season for the GSB, so that they get trained in these soft skills and they can put that in their resume also. And we'll be giving certificates also from CDC. And in this college, in this institute, everyone is here to upskill themselves. They are here to study, to make themselves better, to make their resume better. And one way how you can make culturals more relevant to the GSB is by making culturals relevant to their placements and their career. So that is the basic idea behind this initiative. So you'll be having more sessions, not just GD. It will be other things like public speaking, creative writing, content writing, and Figma, Photoshop, Canva, and everything. This is how Sangam can help the GSB.
My next question, in your proposal for Rang Bazaar, how is it any different from what was implemented this year? Considering that stalls by small businesses have already happened, what innovative features or improvements do you plan to introduce for the upcoming Sarang?
So the flea market was an initiative by the events team, and we came up with like very last minute, so we couldn't do proper planning, but still the initiative was a big success. So Rang Bazaar won't be just stalls. We are also planning to have more street showcases and performances. And one more thing that we noted is that this year some of the stalls were repetitive, and most of the stalls were owned by women, and like most of the vendors were women, and that's something we want to incentivize. So next year, Rang Bazaar won't be just flea market. It will also have a social cost to it. We'll be focusing more on the women vendors, and also most importantly, some of the ventures which are owned by students. We want to do more of that, and also it will have more street showcases and performances. So the idea is more is mostly to generate new avenues of revenue for Sarang and also to retain people in the streets of Sarang. So that's the idea behind having Rang Bazaar. It won't be just a flea market, it will have more street showcases and also stalls which are owned by mostly by women entrepreneurs and also students of Insti.
So my final question for you. You proposed Litsoc to be condensed to 2 weekends. How will you ensure events don't clash? Currently, many hostels rely on a handful of active members who participate in Litsoc events throughout the year. How do you plan to address the potential decrease in participation, considering these members may now have to prioritize certain events and potentially skip others due to clashes or overwork?
So the reason for keeping a Litsoc sprint is mainly three. The first thing is being the Litsocs can put concentrated effort into handling the events, and second, it's hard to keep track of Litsoc right now. That can be changed, and because it's happening all throughout the year, it was hard to keep track of it. And most importantly, hostels that are low in the leaderboard, they can change their fate just with the Litsoc sprint. So, but like you said, some events, we are not changing all the events. Some events that get participation that have a crowd, that will be held separately, but most of the high prep events will be happening in the Litsoc sprint. And the reason is to give more importance to Litsoc, to give it a spotlight, which will be the Litsoc sprint. It should be like a sarang, but for the hostels. So we are giving more participation, to go more importance to Litsoc, and thereby the Litsocs and the students also will have an incentive to participate for Litsoc, and it won't be just Litsoc happening in 2 days. We'll also have food stalls and sport day lectures. So the main reason is to give more importance and keep it in 2 days, 3 days like a sarang, but for the hostels, so that the people also will be incentivized to participate.
Thank you and all the best for your campaign.